Hello and welcome to an Orbiter 2016 video series. This is Tex again, and this is part 3 of our flight from the Earth to Mars. So in the previous part, of course, we launched up here into our parking orbit. You have a gorgeous orbital sunrise here in front of us at the moment. Alright, so we made some updates to our fuel plan, and we covered all of that in the previous video, so we should be good to go. Let's take a look at where we stand. So it's a good thing we upped our delta velocity for the launch into orbit, because we ended up using almost all of that. Our plane is, here you can see EIN is pretty much aligned. I mean, we're not going to worry about that little bit off there. So we're not going to use anything there. I'll just go ahead and put 0 there. I'm not anticipating anything there. Once again, we're looking at roughly 3600 for our injection burn. We'll find out how close that is in just a minute. And then we have our flight log where we've entered everything so far. Let me go ahead and put delta V remaining after the plane alignment is going to remain the same, 5640. And then the fuel will remain the same, 57, 51.20. Okay, so all that leaves us with is the injection burn. Alright, so what we need to do, let me go into the glass cockpit. You can see this a little bit better. Alright, on this side, let's open Orbit Eject. Go make sure that's on course and projection. And then over here, let's go to menu, let's unshare. And then we're going to go back to course, and this time we're going to choose delta velocity. Now we need to set the reference to Earth, and projection, and let's set our date of ejection. Is currently 30, let's go 3070. Wait for it to come around. There we go. Alright, now before I start setting this up, I'm actually going to coast around until we get just a little bit closer to our injection date. Well, trying to decide if we should. I think this is probably close enough. You don't want to set it up too early, because then your predictions are going to kind of change over time. But I'm thinking maybe this will probably be close enough to the injection date that we can go ahead and start planning it now without having to time accelerate. Yeah, let's give it a go. We'll see. All right, let's go over here. Now, oh wait, before I do that, oops, I got to put the delta V in. So that needs to be delta V here. So 3553. All right, there we go. Now we can go over here to the map program. All right, let's change the reference to the sun. We want to target Mars. Let's go to the next page. Let's open the plan. Sphere of influence on. Let's select until we get to Mars, and turn display on so we can see the solar system. If you zoom out, you can see all the orbits of the planets there. Of course, we're only interested in our target, Mars. Its orbit is orange, and Mars is currently here, and we are here. So the blue line is telling us what our plan is doing and where we would actually intercept Mars over here. And we're looking at our periapsis right here. What we want to do is essentially get a periapsis, a negative periapsis, so that we're hitting Mars. And this is so that we can do this in just one burn. Okay, make sure AZO is off. And so we're going to begin playing with the date and DVF, delta velocity forward variables, initially until we get our periapsis down. Right now we're missing Mars by 4,407 billion meters, so obviously that's not close, so we need to get that down. So let's see, what is moving the date closer is lowering that. Let me go to 10x for maybe one click or two. Oh, that was a lot. Let's go back, maybe not quite that much. So we'll bring the date down. And then let's go to prograde and see what. Is that increasing? It is. Okay, let's add prograde velocity. Brings that down. Let's go back to the date. try bringing the injection date a little bit closer. So now we're within 247 million meters. So we're in the neighborhood, but that's not good enough. I really want to be hitting Mars, wrong direction. So if we get that periapsis to a negative number, then that means we're under the surface of Mars, which is what we want for a single burn. Okay, so that went the other way. Let's go back to prograde velocity. Let's see how low we can... Oh, wait, that's going the wrong direction. Hold on. Let's go back to the date. Okay, so that's 200 millimeters. Let's try the date. This direction. Okay, so I think we need to go probably this way with the velocity a little past, and then go back to the date, bring it back down. See how close we can get that. Let's go a little over with the velocity. Yeah, just bear with me for a moment here while I play with the variables. It sort of takes a bit to play with these and get them about where they work, where you get a nice close pass. We want to get relatively close with just the date and prograde here, or delta velocity forward, before we start playing with the other variables. And we should be able to get relatively close. Let's go back this way with it. Go with the date. Alright, so that was under 100 millimeters. It's like it's not getting any lower from that point. Alright, let's see what happens if we adjust some of these variables. Probably need to go to 10x on that. That's not really making much of a change at all. No. Alright, we're not good enough with the date yet. Alright, let's go over here. And sometimes this thing is really frustrating because it won't work with you. So you just have to have patience, unfortunately, sometimes with this, until you find the right combination of variables in order to get the close pass you're looking for. So let's go. Let's try that way again. There we go, that seems like that's getting a little bit better. So bringing the injection date a little closer and reducing forward velocity was getting us lower. There we go. Okay, so that combination seems to be working. Let's try 2 more clicks on the date and then go back to forward velocity. Maybe too much on the date. Let's go up 1. Okay, so 26 millimeters, 20 millimeters. Now let's try doing these variables and see what we get. It's increasing it. It seems like that's working. That's decreasing it. Let's try 10x, 1 click. Nope. See what plane does. That's not helping. I'm not sure I really want that much. Well, I know I don't want that much in inward. I guess it's not as much as I thought it was. Alright, let's see. So that's really not helping anymore beyond that point. Let's go back to 0 that out and let's see if we can do a little bit more with this. 1x. So I did a plus on that and let's try minus on the date. Oh, that's a little bit better. Minus on the date. Oh, so close. Alright, let's try one more time. Three millimeters. So I think we're going through the planet right there. Let's see. It might be. Let's go one more click on the date. Go back here with forward. There we go. Now we're under the surface of Mars. So that's negative 1,100 millimeters under the surface of Mars. I want to get that between 23 and 2,500 if we can. Let's try a little bit of inward. That's the wrong direction. Let's try this a little bit of plane. Let's go this way. Nope. It's not getting as low as I would like there. Let's see, plus. That's not working either.
Hover doors are closed.
Set 0. And then let's go to the plane, set that to 0. Alright, so if I do the date, and that's going to make too big of a change, let me just try it one time. Let's go -1 on the date, and then go, oh, that was too much, sorry. Let's go to 1x. Alright, -1 on the date at 1x, and -1 on the prograde, -2. Oh, there we go. Now we're a little under where I would like to be, but I might be able to adjust that with a little inward. Wrong direction. Now we're talking. Alright, that's what I'm looking for. Alright, so our periapsis is on target. So I like this. I think this will be the plan that we fly. Let me hop over to... Nope. Page. All these buttons I get confused with. Alright, so burn vector. Alright, so we're 2,200 seconds out from the burn. Let's go ahead and time accelerate and get over to the burn. Let's make sure linear RCS is on because we're going to have to clean the burn up. And I'm going to get a little closer to the burn and then orient the vessel myself just to save some fuel. So actually I need rotation RCS. Alright, and you'll notice the periapsis is now actually negative 3000. I'm not too concerned about it because we're going to use linear RCS to clean up the burn. So we'll set that exactly where we want it as soon as the burn is completed. But we have the majority of it set up so the autopilot will take care of most of the burn for us. Okay, so we're oriented for the burn. It's time to accelerate. Alright, I'm going to hit auto burn. So we're 40 seconds out from the burn. And we can do this safely at 10x. So here we go, we're burning. You can see our delta velocity here counting down. So you just linear RCS here in just a minute. Okay, so Interplanetary has completed the burn for us. Let me go over here and turn the plan off so we can see what's actually happening. And you'll notice our periapsis is actually 138 millimeters above the surface. So let's just translate forward. Let's get that under the surface. I'm just doing a couple of clicks of 6, just translating forward. Alright, now we'll use the control key. Alright, there's 2,200. There's 2,300. That should work right there. Alright. And our relative inclination looks pretty good too, although I'm not going to be too concerned about that. Once we get to Mars, we're going to do a base alignment and everything with Olympus. But we're set up, so we can go, let's see, we're on the night side at the moment, but let me go over here, select orbit. And let's set the ship up for an extended coasting period here. Make sure RCS is off so we don't accidentally bump that. We can turn off nav and strobe. We'll leave beacon on. Everything down here looks good. Let's go ahead and transfer some fuel over into the main tank. We don't need all of that in the RCS. We'll keep about 30% in the RCS tank. That's probably good. We can turn off the HUD. We don't really need that at this point. Okay, so you can see what's going on here. Let's see, go here and center on us. And if I zoom in, you can see that here we are at the Earth. You see the Earth's sphere of influence, its gravitational sphere of influence, and here's the moon. So our trajectory here is taking us out away from the Earth like this, and we're going to be coasting out towards the orbit of Mars. Let me recenter on the sun. Alright, so there you go. I mean, you can see, you know, Mercury, Venus, Earth, all the orbits of the other planets, but of course we're interested in our trajectory taking us out like this, out toward the orbit of Mars. Mars is currently right over here at the moment. So both us and Mars are going to intersect right here at this point in space. And I believe if I press mode, you can see our encounter MJD here, which is the date of our encounter. Alright, so this seems like a pretty good spot to leave it. It's not quite 30 minutes, we're a little bit short, but I believe this will be a really good spot to go ahead and leave the video. In the next part, we have a lot of coasting to do, and we're going to be entering in some data. Actually, I guess before we leave, we perhaps should go ahead and enter in our data into the spreadsheet. Let's go to burn time. Let's put in our extra fuel for RCS, 243.8. Alright, and let's open our spreadsheet up. So after the injection burn, we have 2,085 kilometers per second in delta V. And fuel-wise, we have 1738.6 plus 243.8 in RCS. Yep, so 1982.4. Alright, so it took us 3,555 kilometers per second in delta V for the injection burn, so we'll put that in here, 3,555. And our actual APU fuel remaining is 244.1. Alright. So delta V of injection burn, and then our actual delta V remaining after the injection burn is 2085. Okay, so that's entered in. Flight log is all set. Alright, yeah, that's good to go. Okay, yeah, this is a good spot to leave it, so thank you guys for watching. Let me just do a quick save here. And we're all set. We'll pick up the next part and coast out to Mars. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and until then, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.